we're here in Portland. I've just picked up an Indian. We're here to have some fun around Portland and go to the One Moto Show. Let's go. Loads of creativity, loads of inspiration, loads of freedom. Absolutely awesome. For this adventure, I would head north and to Portland, Oregon's largest city, and which sits on the Columbia and the Willamette rivers. Now, this is a growing city with a vibrant arts and music scene, and which mixes old architecture and the industrial neighbourhoods with everyday modern living. It is also known for its many bridges, microbreweries and coffee houses, as well as many other hidden gems. So while I was in town for the One Moto Show, I cruised around on an Indian Scout and checked out some of the coolest places in the city. And my first stop was to get some coffee. So here at CC Moto Coffee, now this place is amazing. All about motorcycles, and you can get some good coffee too, so let's do that. Now this place ticks all boxes for me. Great coffee, and just about everything you look at is motorcycle related. I love looking at the weird and wonderful helmet designs from the previous One Moto Show events. And those display of well-used pistons always tell a sorry tale. And then the vintage albums, my favourite being those TT sounds. After warming up with a delicious coffee, it was then back on the Scout for a ride across town. It was a rather chilly and dull day to be out riding, but you'd never know it, as this is just such a warm and colourful city. Personally, I enjoy crossing the endless bridges that link the city and span across the river, as they all represent a variety of construction types and designs, and they all give you a different perspective of the city as you cross each one. While that stunning Fremont Bridge carries 2 decks, each with 4 lanes, and it's the second longest tide arch bridge in the world. As this city has grown, the old industrial sectors have remained, and they're now intersected with everyday human hustle and bustle. But somehow the two work well together, and there's a certain flow about this place. Next on my list of stops will be to meet up with some old friends at one of Portland's best brunch spots. Vsauce has been around since 1903, and it was actually granted the first liquor license in the state of Oregon after the prohibition was lifted. Now, after recent development in the area, it's been driven away from its 112-year home, but it has been now relocated to a new building just a few blocks away. It was here I'd meet up with Portland locals Courtney Taylor and his beautiful wife Lockett, as well as my old friend Claudio from Ducati, who come all the way from Bologna, Italy with a colleague for this Moto Mad weekend. It was definitely a reason to celebrate and pour some bubbly, as friends from around the world all came together for great food and a catch-up. Now, Vsauce serves American comfort food at a very high standard, so when I saw a burger on the menu, there was only one choice. Oh man, and it looks so good. Made with black Angus beef, white cheddar, pickles, and a secret sauce. So how does a gourmet burger really taste? Absolutely delicious. After an absolutely delicious lunch with friends, it was then back on my machine to check out more of Portland's charm. quick stop on the river and to see these bridges from another perspective. Then it was back on the bike to ride across one, as I now headed to my next stop. Who we met earlier and had an amazing lunch with, he's got his own music studio and also a fine little wine bar. So let's pop in and check it out. As soon as you step into the old Portland wine bar, it's like walking back in time, as vintage memorabilia mixes with music posters from back in the day and creates a vibe that makes you just forget the outside world, as you now can just relax and start to sit back on some good old tasty grape juice. Courtney went on to show me around his music studio and where all the magic happens. From mixing decks to green screens, this place has it all. And it was great taking a tour of each room and listening to Courtney's stories, which each room and piece of equipment has gained over the years of performing. The main stage is huge and surrounded by beautiful, colourful artwork. While behind me in the corner, I spot some of Courtney's much loved vintage motorcycles. Oh, what a great stop that was. Now it's back on the Indian, across a few more bridges, and then onto a show that's just oozing with motorcycle passion. So we're here at the One Moto Show. It's the 10th anniversary. And I'm so excited to be here. It's my first year ever. I know it's lame, but we're finally here. There's loads of bikes inside, music's blaring, there's loads of people. Let's get in there and have some fun. The event was already in full swing, so let's get in there and check out the show. Apart from all these show bikes, there was lots going on. From getting tattoos to the crazy mini bike racing. And there was live music on the main stage. The One Moto Show was already pumping. Time now to put the camera down and join the party. After a late night of celebrations as I partied late into the night with friends, I would start this chilly morning off with a short ride across the city as I again made my way back to the One Moto Show.
One show! One show!
One Moto Show.
So we're here in Portland, Oregon, inside the One Moto Show. This is absolutely awesome. Now inside this building are loads of motorcycles, loads of creativity, loads of inspiration, loads of freedom. The best bit is all motorbikes. Let's go check them out, I can't wait.
This time I was there nice and early, getting there before the crowds came in. So this time I could get a good look at all of those awesome machines on display and see all of that creativity and hard work done by each builder. Now the One Moto Show is 2 floors and room after room of motorcycling bliss. Just about every era, type and size of motorcycle can be found. Yet each one represents a creative twist in the hands of each builder, which in my opinion makes this show nothing short of spectacular. It was so much fun just browsing around and seeing the differences in each machine. Some more crazier than others, like this land speed bike.
This is nuts.
This old vintage Triumph was definitely a head turner, fitted with tracks and skis. And I bet you thought the timber sled was a new invention. Having been brought up around old motorcycles thanks to my dad, I just love these classic and old vintage machines. Like this old Indian, which definitely caught my eye.
Look at this, it's an old Indian. A female builder has so much intricate detail in this. Check out the foot pegs. Check out the fork spring in the exhaust. I love it.
For me, this minimal and very adventurous BMW was a showstopper, and a bike I'd love to ride. While this Supermoto just screams abuse me. And when you're not looking down at the bikes, you just have to look up at the walls, as many are displaying unique and brilliant artwork. Back browsing at the bikes, and I just couldn't help but sit on Roland Sand's US Championship winning 250 GP machine. Now that definitely brought back some good old 250cc memories. Then sitting on this evil tribute machine that Travis Pastrana famously and successfully jumped and landed all 3 historic Las Vegas jumps on this tricked out Indian. And then onto the brutally fast Victory machine that powered up Pikes Peak in the action-packed race to the clouds.
Here we have a bunch of motocross bikes from the late 70s and early 80s. Makos, Yamahas, Hondas. This is the era going from twin shocks to monoshock. We have a Yamaha here with a rear shock which goes all the way from the back, all the way to the headstock. You cannot believe it. This is one of the first monoshocks. Just down there, same sort of era, twin shocks. So a real change in what you see now on modern motocross bikes. This is one of the first monoshocks. Amazing.
This is a show with a brilliant mix of motorcycles and artwork that just left me pondering on what I should do next with the machines in my own garage.
This reminds me of Easy Rider. Awesome thumping engine, tiny little handlebars and a raked out front end. This looks like a fun ride. If you don't like the big choppers, check out the small ones. These are awesome.
After a good look around, and then as the crowd started to come in, it was then time to brave those chills outside once again, as this time I headed to the track for the races.
So we've come away from the One Moto Show in Portland. We've come south for about an hour to Salem. Now we're here at the flat track and it's the first round of the Super Hooligan. Let's go check them out.
So if you don't know much about flat track, then here's a quick rundown. You only turn left, you only have one brake, and that's a rear, so no front brake. And you mainly steer with the rear of the machine, with a beautiful mix of sliding in and out of the corners. It's very fast and furious, providing cutthroat action from start to finish. For the fans that braved the chills and came out to support, they would not be disappointed, as these tough racers put on quite a show, always pushing limits and sometimes going over them, as they all went in pursuit of glory. in the pits and let's get a closer look at these modified road bikes. These one-street motorcycles are now fire-breathing hooligan race bikes, and they're ridden by a bunch of so-called hooligans. If you haven't been to a Super Hooligan race yet, you should. It's full of colourful riders and machines that hold nothing back. Anything can happen, and it usually does. After a rather eventful evening of thrills and spills, I then caught up with the man who started the Super Hooligan series and find out the latest.
So we're here with Roland Sands, not only bike builder, but you've put on a championship called the Super Hooligans. Tell us a bit about it.
You know, we just brought a bunch of crazy, wild people out here to ride motorcycles around circles. It was a stressful night, man. We saw some injuries, we saw some fights on the track, we saw a little bit of everything. So I'm really stoked that we actually got through this thing and everyone's walking away, or limping away.
You're the brainchild of the Super Hooligan Championship. What was your real kind of motivation for doing it?
These types of motorcycles need a place to race, and they need a platform. So if we're able to give them a platform and have it be a multi-brand platform, that was the biggest thing to me. Was we really kicked it off racing Harleys.
Yeah.
And at that point it was like, well, it's only going to get so big if people are only racing Harleys. So now we got Ducatis, we got Yamahas, we got Indians.
Yeah.
You know, we have our Indian factory team out racing. So
and the crowd, there's good turnout tonight.
Crowd's a good turnout, it's hype. It's the personalities, man. These guys, it's not about the bikes, it's about the people who are out here racing these bikes.
Did you ever expect it to become like so professional when you first started the Super Hooligan? Because I was a part of a few of them at the start.
Yeah.
And
it was fun back then. It was super fun.
For me, I thought it was more fun back then because it was just like people just run what you brought.
It was fun because you actually won a race. And that makes it.
Yeah, I did beat you once.
You did beat me.
You beat me plenty of times.
Yeah,
though.
no, but we were both like fast back then.
Yeah.
And now I look at everybody and I'm just like, dude, these guys are blowing.
Oh man, I would not want to be a part of it. It looks
it's
like
real
really
racing. It's real genuine racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where it's gone.
So
you know?
Did you expect it to go that way?
It's inevitable. If you build something that people want to be a part of and you start racing, if you're lining up against your friend, you're only going to want to beat them.
Who's your riders for this year?
This race we had AJ Kirkpatrick, we had Jimmy Hill, Jordan Graham, and we have Randy Behrman. Okay. So our team is legit, man. I mean, it's a good group of guys. They're all hauling ass. They all know what they're doing. They've all had plenty of time on Indian Scouts. Yeah. And how to put them on FTRs. Yeah. It's a little bit different game.
Well, this is Roland Sands.
Freezing our ass off in Portland.
One Moto Show event creator and mastermind, Tor Drake rounded off a fantastic event with trophies, goodies and cash. A huge congratulations to all those that took part in the One Moto Show. Portland was full gas all weekend long. If you like what you see, I hope to see you all there next year.
Why are you so weird? The One Show!
Yeah, I think 6 people went to the hospital.
You're not cold enough yet, just come on out here and get colder.